I guess it was 2014. I just was looking for my next movement obsession, and so as my sort of January, resolution, I decided to try aerial and wanted something more fun and adventurous and sexy, and just became completely hooked on it. It was extremely physically challenging. It took maybe, I think, at least a year for the aches and pains to subside. Um, Something often felt tweaked in my shoulders. The knuckles in my fingers would ache. The fact that I'd been teaching yoga and practicing yoga for many years was a big help, but I was also training with women who had been professional dancers. So, they already had a very strong core and, perfect pointy feet, things like that. It's really challenging. It's hard not to compare yourself and constantly feel that you are not good enough, not flexible enough, not strong enough. There was a period of about a year or two where I was practicing, I'd say 8 to 12 hours a week. And that was really exciting. I had a real sense of prowess. I don't know about mastery, but I felt really strong and really capable. I guess just getting to be strong, graceful, beautiful. There's something really deeply satisfying about having that extreme height of physical ability and capacity. When I became pregnant, my decision about aerial was to trust that my body would tell me if it wasn't okay. And so I was doing drops and these things called beehives, which is, using your core muscles to slowly descend yourself with control with this rope wrapped around your waist. It's not exactly what most people would imagine would be okay while you're pregnant, but I really just said fuck it. I trusted my baby and my body to let me know when it was time to stop, and I just carried on as usual until then. Yeah, pregnancy's very strange. I mean, the things that I normally am completely compelled, like lightning, to do, moving my body, aerial, pretty quickly felt very wrong. And, including coffee, wine, all the things that normally I, crave a bit, instantly were just not appealing at all. Feeling the body that I had created change was, in one way, it was fine. I just felt like I wanted to get through the pregnancy, um, be as healthy as possible, take good care of myself, eat well. I kind of let it go. I knew that if I got pregnant, that was the reality of what I was going to be going through. I think my first 2 to 4 weeks of being pregnant, I had a lot of turbulent emotion, a lot of anger, shock, some sadness around knowing that I was going to have to let a lot of my identity go and stop activities that were just really kind of essential to my satisfaction and happiness in life. And not because some doctor was telling me to stop them, just because I just physically wasn't able to at all. And I thought that it would come back quickly after I had the baby. And I thought the return journey would be much easier. You go on Instagram, you see pictures of acrobats and aerialists who are kind of back at it in 6 weeks. And that just was not what happened for me at all. Obviously, your body takes time to recover. No one is really supposed to exercise until 6 weeks after you have the baby. So throwing yourself upside down on a rope and throwing your legs open into a straddle, obviously, has issues if you just pushed a human being out your vagina. But, so you have to wait for a lot of things to kind of come back together. Yeah, I didn't realize just how hard the physical recovery would be. I think I started climbing fabric again maybe 2 months after I had the baby, but I could only take 3 steps up. I just felt no pun intended, like I'd fallen so far. It took me, oh, she's up, she's sitting up. My body just looked nothing like it had. I felt just like a big sack of organs that didn't know where their place was. And, I'd lost all my core strength. Couldn't do a pull-up at all. I thought that, and I know that weight is not the thing that you should be worried about if you just had a baby, but it does make it harder to climb and pull your body up if you have, an extra 30 pounds. And I found it really difficult to lose the weight. Yeah, it really brought up a lot of body image issues. It was so hard not to compare myself to what other people were going through. So there was a lot of, why is this happening to me? Why isn't my experience more like theirs? Why isn't this, as easy as I thought it would be? When I was first pregnant, I would have dreams that I was still practicing aerial and as good as I had been. And then in the middle of my pregnancy, I would have dreams about watching my friends and teachers perform. And then at the end of my pregnancy, I'd have dreams about being back in the studio and getting back in shape. Yeah, it was just so strange to sort of have this body and these abilities in my mind that I thought surely they'd be there for me, maybe just because something inside of me would wake up and remember, or because it would come back quickly, and it just wasn't the case. And trying to keep everything together, and apartment, relationship, it just craves a little time for yourself, and then be breastfeeding for 4 to 8 hours a day for weeks and weeks and weeks. And but I really put her first, and I think that there's an emotional price for that I feel. I don't think my body or my mind are my own yet. I don't know when that will happen, ever. People joke that it never happens after you have a child. I had some woman stop me on the street, when I was carrying Alexandria for a walk in the park, and she was just maybe 2 months old, and she said, "Are you happier than you've ever been?" More exhausted than I've ever been. Maybe feeling love on a deeper level than I've ever felt it, but I wouldn't say happy necessarily. You really crave some kind of integration of your former identity. At least I did, because I liked who I was a lot. It was really fun. And I felt like I worked my whole life to get to that place where being me felt so fun. It's definitely getting better. I feel like my body is sort of knitting itself back together. I can't quite do a pull-up yet, but I can do inversion climbs again with bent arms. Straight arm inversions are not back yet, but... Oh, she's sitting up. Yeah, it's definitely a little up, kiddo.